Me too.
Hey, Pam Pal, how are you?
Hi, Chuck Koplinski. How are you?
I'm great. It is, I don't know where everyone's at, but it is snowing here where I am at. A nice fine snow is
Yeah.
coming down. We're supposed to get 5 to 7 inches down here in the Champaign-Urbana area. What's shaking with you?
Same kind of fine snow. It's coming down pretty steadily though.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I think we're supposed to get maybe 1 to 3 inches. We're not supposed to get as much as you, which is kind of weird because I'm located an hour and a half north of you in lovely Bourbonnais, Illinois, which is an hour south of Chicago.
Yeah, you usually get more. You
Hmm.
usually get more. So yeah. But yeah, we're going over to the basketball game on the U of I campus this afternoon. Game starts at 3, so we'll see how long that's going to take us to get there. So,
Good luck. How far away is Champagne from you guys?
about 20 minutes.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's no big deal. So, yeah, we'll see how much longer it takes to get us into town. So
All right. Well,
that's
be
all I know.
safe.
Yes, we will.
All
We will.
right. So what are
So,
we
what do you want to
chatting
talk
about?
about?
Oh, oh, oh,
Jinx, buy me a Coke.
I
Hey,
would love to discuss the Critics' Choice nominations because this year the award ceremony is going to be on January 5th, 4th, sorry, January 4th, Sunday. And
right.
it's going to be, that's 2 weeks earlier than usual.
Yes, and I don't know how I feel about that. I know that the powers that be want to be the first awards show out of the gate, and we will be when we're beating the Golden Globes, everybody. So, going to set the tone, I think, this year.
Right. I do have a comment about moving it up by 2 weeks and having it 3 days after
New
New Year.
Year's?
I can't do that next year.
Yeah, as far
That's
as
just too
travel
crazy.
goes and
Yeah.
attending the show, yeah, it's a little rough.
It is too much, absolutely too much financially and time-wise. And as you know, whenever I travel on a plane, I get sick. It doesn't matter how much hand sanitizer I bring, it doesn't matter how many masks I put over my face, I always get sick. So I have to allow 2 weeks recovery time after a
It's
flight.
that's psychological.
Okay. I'll send you my snot rags after, okay? My psychological
On,
snot.
on that note, so hey, I wanted to let you know as far as our nominations are concerned, Sinners was the big winner, 14 nominations. You've sat through that film, right?
I'm going to be honest here because I'm always honest. I have tried to watch this twice.
Actually, I'm sorry. It got 17 nominations.
17?
17. Yes, yes. Frankenstein ended up with 14.
Okay. Um, so yes, I tried to watch it twice. I couldn't make it through. Couldn't
Yeah.
make it through. I made it to the 45-minute mark the first time, then I made it to the hour mark the next time. I just it I felt like the acting wasn't great. I'm going to go so against everything that they've
Wow.
been nominated for. I didn't think the directing was great. I thought the story was like very threadbare until I guess after the hour mark, and then we get into vampires.
Right.
What?
After the hour mark, it changes, it shifts gears dramatically.
Yeah, I wasn't hooked. And usually, if you can't hook me in the first 15, 20 minutes, I usually give up. I gave this one a second shot because of all the nominations, and nah, I'm not on the Sinners bandwagon.
I liked it. I didn't love it. And my big problem was I thought the first hour was too long. The film's too long. And it takes us too long to get to where we're going.
Yes.
So yeah, and your experience is indicative of that.
Yeah. And can I ask you, what did you think about Michael B. Jordan's performance as the twin?
I thought he was great.
Okay.
I really did. I thought he
Did,
was great. I thought it was an interesting trick because the differences between the two brothers aren't, they're very subtle. And I
okay.
think he's got to be had to be really careful with what he was doing. I thought he was really good.
Okay.
Really.
I
Um,
struggled with his, and maybe he gets better at the second half, but I felt like it was very stilted, and I felt like he didn't know which one he was.
okay. All right. All right.
Here we go.
I, and I was incorrect again 2 times today.
Oh my
That's
God.
the second time this year I've been wrong. Uh, One Battle After Another was the one that got 14
Oh,
nominations.
okay. Okay.
Frankenstein got 11. And I know One Battle After Another was another favorite of yours this year.
Okay, so you and I frequently, for those of you who don't know, when Chuck and I are not watching a movie at a theater together, we frequently get these screeners, and we will frequently text each other during the movie. And I texted him, "This is not a Pam movie," and you agreed, "This
And
is
I
not
replied, I said, I know.
a movie." I did like it. I didn't love it. It was just way too violent for me, but I thought it was a good story and it did hook me. I had to watch it through to the end, even though I was uncomfortable with the amount of violence that was there that felt gratuitous at times. I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was wonderful, and I love that he played kind of a dumb guy. And
Yeah.
there were some comedic elements that I did laugh about. And I can't remember who's the little girl that plays his daughter. Do you know
Oh gosh.
offhand?
Um, the little girl. I like how you say that. Chase Infinity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing performance.
First movie.
First movie.
First
Wow.
movie. Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Did we nominate her for anything like first
I
time?
don't think. I don't know. Oh yeah, she's nominated for Best Actress. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Incredible job. She's got quite a bright future ahead of her.
I'm with you.
Um,
I like the movie. I didn't love it like everyone else.
okay.
It's too long, but the
It is.
performances kept me riveted. I love Benicio del Toro, who was nominated for Best Supporting.
He
He
was really good.
he subtly steals every scene he's in.
He
He
he does. He does.
very sly, very sly. And then of course you have Sean Penn on the other end of the spectrum, and he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, great. I'm glad that we're on the same page with that one. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so another one that I am not on board with is Marty Supreme. How many nominations did that baby get?
I don't know. I will count real quick. It's funny. We're going to talk about that one next week when it opens up.
Okay.
I finally watched it the other night, and I've got a
Okay.
lot of thoughts on that one.
I can't wait to hear them because I'm going to guess that maybe we have opposing thoughts.
We have opposing thoughts for a while.
Oh,
Let's just say that movie had me, and then it
really?
lost me, and then it lost me.
Okay.
I was a fish on the line. They were reeling me in, and then I got away. So
Yeah. See, I
yeah.
didn't fall for the bait.
Yeah, I did. Because I think, and I don't want to give away much from next week, but I know you don't like him,
I
but
don't.
Chalamet gives a great performance. It's a great performance.
Okay.
And you can't confuse the fact that you can't not like it because he plays a deplorable person. He's
Mm,
deplorable.
right. And he does give us a great performance. He's freaking irritating, man. I
That's what he's supposed
Yeah.
to do.
And he is. And so why do you want to tell this story? I don't know. That's a
Well, we'll get into it
okay.
next week, but I got a lot to say about that.
As Alex Cordetti says, you say you're not going to delve into it, but then you just did.
Not as much as I wanted. Yeah.
She called me out on that, didn't she?
She did. Yeah. Yeah. I one that I know that you love, and I'm loving more and more the more I think about it, even though I don't know if I can sit through it a second time, is Hamnet.
Oh, I
Uh,
did sit through it a second time.
I don't know if I can do that.
Okay, so
Do you?
here's the thing. I sat down to watch just a little bit, just to, like I take this nomination stuff very seriously, and our votes do count for the Critics' Choice, and I do take it very seriously. And so these nominations, I do try and watch everything at least another time. I was just going to watch the beginning of Hamnet just to, when you see a movie all the way through, you think, what did I miss in the beginning? And then I'm like sitting on the arm of the chair, just going to watch 10, 15 minutes. And then I'm sinking down into the chair. And then before you know it, I got the blanket over me, the blanket.
The blanket, yeah.
And I watched the whole thing again. It was even better the
Okay.
second time around.
Let me ask you a question because
Mhm.
I think the film is too slow. Does that go away the second time?
It does. It does because you know what's going to happen. I would agree with you. I thought it was a little slow and I thought this movie's not going to be for everybody. It takes too much time with the scenery and the setup, but that scenery and setup is all important and you realize the relevancy of everything the second time round.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because I don't know if I want to put myself through that emotional ringer one more time.
I think you should.
But I admire the film more and more the more I think about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
you and I have been critical in the past of the things that are left out
Mm-hmm.
by our organization,
Yes.
and this year was no exception. But I'm very happy that Ava Victor for Sorry Baby was nominated for best screenplay,
Me too. Me too.
and
So happy
I
to
will
see
be
that.
voting for that, without even question.
Same.
And it should have been nominated for much more.
I wish that it would have too, but at least we're recognizing that. And as we said before, we would like to see the Critics' Choice being a little bit more daring and going out on a limb to nominate some of these smaller, more independent films that are
Right.
worthy. They did recognize The Ballad of Wallace Island just in one category, but at least it was recognized. One that I wish they would have recognized that you and I truly loved, and I talked you into watching this one. Bob Trevino Likes It, directed
Yeah.
by Tracy Lehman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great performance from our buddy John Leguizamo.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So wish that one would have gotten a little more love. It did get some love out of a big magazine, though. I don't remember which
Yeah.
magazine that
That
was.
was Entertainment Weekly.
Oh, and I was thrilled to see that somebody else had the chutzpah to
Yeah.
say this one's worth seeing.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Marty Supreme got 8, by the way.
I have a bunch of ping pong balls in a container for you.
So do I. I got a ton of them. And I can't let the dog eat them. That would just complicate things badly.
Yeah, oh, definitely not. Anything else you want to chat about before we go on to two quick movie reviews?
I don't know. We will return to this as we get closer to the ceremony, I think. We usually do.
Hmm.
Maybe this year we'll do what we did last year. I think we posted some social media things in which we talked about the major categories and our picks. Um, so yeah, we'll get into it. Maybe eventually you can convince me that Sentimental Value is worthy of everything it got. Yeah, but we'll return to this.
All right, that sounds like a plan. And we will be out in LA for the Critics' Choice Awards, attending the event and the cocktail party. And we'll keep you posted with some videos from that as well so that you can be a part of it, even if you're not there.
Sounds good.
Let's chat about the biggie, and that is the third Knives Out story called Wake Up Dead Man.
Yeah, and that was not nominated for anything by
Shocking.
our group,
So weird.
it, which surprised me. It is getting love from other groups, though, and I don't. I'm really curious as to why you weren't sucked into this one because I think it's one of the better of the three, quite frankly.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and I like that there's always some sort of social or political subcontext
Hmm.
to
I
his
liked
films,
that. Hmm.
because we're talking a lot about what's going on now with this film. It revolves around a zealot, basically, Monsignor, played by James Brolin, who wields his power over his small congregation. I mean, he's a bully, and he finds out what everyone's in his congregation, what their weaknesses are. He exploits them. He manipulates them, and they are not. Um, they're not. I don't want to say unguilty. I don't. I'm blanking on the word. Having a mini stroke here. Uh, they're complicit in this because they don't have the nerve to speak up and defend themselves. They willingly put themselves under his power. And
Remind you of?
what?
What does this remind you of?
Exactly, and that's one of the things I liked about the film.
Yeah, I did like
'Cause
that.
it speaks directly to what's going on in this country right now. Uh, he, of course, ends up dead. And our buddy Josh O'Connor, I'm getting more and more impressed with this kid.
Hmm.
By the way, I don't know if you watched that movie Rebuilding.
I didn't yet. No.
I'm going to watch it tonight because he's so impressed me in this movie.
Okay.
Because I think he carries the film. He
Oh, he
carries
does
this.
carry the film. He is in every single scene. He narrates it. The entire burden of success or failure of this film is on his shoulders.
And I think he pulls it off. He plays Father Judd, and he's a former boxer, which I love. And he's been shipped out to this congregation as a punishment because he's knocked out another priest. Uh, Jeffrey Wright, not
Yeah.
used enough in the movie, is his bishop, and we see him at the beginning and the end, and he cuts through the bullshit, which I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
But Father Judge's been sent out, and he's been going toe to toe with the Monsignor. So when the Monsignor ends up dead, he's the number one suspect, and things are complicated from there. I will say one thing I didn't like about it. Benoit Blanc, played by Daniel Craig, of course, he doesn't show up for until the second act,
Yeah.
and these films revolve around him.
They do. I agree.
And he is, I mean, doing his foghorn leghorn accent and everything, and I love how he'll be going along, and he seems though to know everything that's happening. Then all of a sudden he'll say, "I don't know what to do." I love that.
Yeah.
The fact that he doesn't show up for so long, I think, is a problem with the film.
I would agree with you. I think that's a major problem with this film. I
Yeah.
have two problems with the film. That is one of them.
However, I did like the reasoning behind that. Once we figure out why Father Judd is narrating and why Blanc hasn't shown up, I did like that, but I think he shoots himself in the foot, Ryan Johnson, by doing that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
And I loved how he based this. This is a locked room mystery, and which is a type of subgenre of the mystery genre, and he bases it on a novel called The Hollow Man. A locked room mystery is, someone is killed in a area in which it doesn't seem possible that someone could have done it and gotten away with it, and that's the whole key to this. Our suspects are Glenn Close, who is the most devout follower, her husband, Thomas Hayden Church, who is the groundskeeper, Jeremy Renner, who's a doctor whose wife has left him and he is spinning. Adam Scott is an author who hasn't had a bestseller in the year, and he's desperate for more success. Kaylee Spaney is a cellist who is suffering from a debilitating disease, who is counting on this Monsignor to cure her, and has given him a lot of money to the church. And Kerry Washington and Daryl McCormick as siblings who have a big secret. And Daryl McCormick I found to be hilarious, because there is not a moment that he does not record with his little
He's
camcorder
funny. He's
thing.
funny.
And he is desperate to go into politics no matter what. No matter what, he wants to do this. And I thought he was really funny.
And another current relevant political statement just
Yes.
with that as well. I needed more of that because it was funny, even though it was relevant. I needed more funny. I needed more Glenn Close.
Okay. Even though she at the end, she has an incredible sequence at the end.
Oh, she does. She does. That was wonderful.
Where
But she added that comedic element. She always popped up somewhere, but she didn't pop up enough. I just needed to laugh more. I didn't laugh. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say what I didn't like. I didn't like the fact you pointed out Daniel Craig isn't in it until the second half, and I didn't like that I felt like I was talked at. I felt like everything was not Chuck-splained to me, but everything was knife-splained to me. And I wanted to think a little bit more. I wanted to try and figure out the puzzle myself. And I felt like in the first one, I was able to do that. And I felt like the second one, I was able to do that. This third one, it was just like, here, open your mouth. Here's a spoon. I'm going to feed you more because I'm not going to give you enough information to figure it out yourself. I'm just going to tell you what's happened.
Is that why you, and that's because of the first person narration by the priest?
Perhaps that's the storytelling element that made that happen.
Because, he didn't do that in the first two films.
That might be. I hadn't thought about it that way. That's just how I felt.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Here's my question then. Did you figure it out before they got to it?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. See, I gasped once we figured out what was going on. I mean, I had no idea how this was going to be pulled off. And I'm going to be real honest. It's hokey as hell.
Yes.
I mean, really?
Oh, I'm okay with hokey.
Okay, me too.
Just
because
entertain
that's
me.
part and parcel of these mysteries. It's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. But then again, okay, I don't care. It's clever.
Right.
Yeah. And I also want to point out, not enough Mila Kunis.
Okay.
She was good as the sheriff who is trying to figure this out. Needed more of her as well.
Let me ask you this. With the first and the second Knives Out mystery, um, our list of suspects was much more contained, more finite, fewer.
There are too
And
many here.
I think there were too many.
I agree.
And then we had to go through so many storylines to, have those MacGuffins of, leading us down the wrong path.
I
And
think
that
this
got
is the
old.
I think this is the longest one. I'd
Okay.
have to look it up, but I think it is the longest one, and I don't disagree with that
Okay.
at all.
Okay. I think we're on the same page. You just were a little more entertained than I was.
I was definitely entertained. I was not bored at all. I was sucked in from the first minute to the last. I hope they do more because the character is just too rich not to do more.
They're
And
I think he's been signed up to do one more. I think there was a total of four in his contract with Netflix. I think.
okay, good,
I
good.
think.
Because and you can tell he has a good time with this role.
Hmm.
But again, the fact that he's not in it during the first act, I was really, damn it,
Yeah.
I wanted that.
Yeah. Same. Same.
Yeah. And this one is on Netflix, so people can check that one out.
Right. And we
There.
would love to hear your comments about whether or not you enjoyed the movie and if you saw the same kinds of things that Chuck or I did. I would love
Yeah.
to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
So,
So, yeah, this next one. I'm gonna let you handle this one because you had a great comparison that I didn't come up with, and I wish I had. And we need to talk about this one now because I don't think it's going to be around for a while. And that
I,
is Dust Bunny.
yeah, Dust Bunny, Dust Bunny. Everybody knows those horrible little things that collect in the corner of your room. I don't know
Under the
how
bed.
I don't know how they get there. Could it be because I have two dogs and I don't vacuum every day? Perhaps. So this is I think a child's worst nightmare because the dust bunny is actually a large monster in the form of a bunny that lives below this little girl's bed. And this little girl, I'm gonna have to look up her name real quickly. She is Aurora, played by Sophie Sloane, and she does a
And
nice
she's good.
job. Huh?
She's good.
Oh
She's
yeah,
good.
she's
Girl's good.
I have nothing against any of the performances. And living down the hallway, she's in some apartment building, I think in New York City. Aurora lives with her foster parents. We learn a little bit more about her foster parents later. And down the hall is, he never gets a name. He's called in the IMDb page, Intriguing Neighbor. And that's played
Eh,
by Mads Mikkelson.
I hate that.
I don't you though? It makes it
Yeah.
really difficult to write your review. Give
It
him a
is
name.
awful because yeah, you have to say
Give him
him,
Fred.
he,
Say anything.
yeah, yeah. Me too. Good.
So Aurora is just petrified to go to sleep at night because under her bed lives this monster. Nobody believes her. Everybody thinks there's a monster in your closet. Everybody thinks there's a monster, not a monster, under your bed when you're a little kid. Those are, typical little frights that they have. The parents, step parents, or foster parents come in. It's okay, little Aurora. Everything is fine. We're here. We're going to protect you. They're very kind and reassuring. And that is until they get eaten by the dust bunny. So
Should have listened.
Aurora is left by herself to her own demise or whatever, and goes to her intriguing neighbor, played by Mads Mikkelson, because she sees that he's actually a monster killer by night, and so she hires him to go kill her dust bunny under her bed. So that's basically the gist of the whole movie.
Uh-huh.
There's not a whole lot more to it. And here's the thing. Brian Fuller, I think is the name of the writer and director. Do I have that
Right.
right? Yeah, Brian Fuller. And he just doesn't know what he's working with here. Is he working with something that's supposed to be a dark comedy? Is he working with something that's meant for kids? Absolutely not. Do not take your child to go see this. This is horrific and horrifying. This is disturbingly violent. And then does this become a father-daughter type of movie where Mads Mikkelsen becomes this father figure to this little girl, Aurora? But no, it doesn't really go there either. And then there are a couple little quips here and there and some little elements of you think, oh, we're going to go into comedy now. No, we never go down the comedy road either. There is never one tone that is fully developed. It is a bore. And I just didn't even know what it wanted to do. So I would skip this one. No one's going to enjoy this. If you're an adult, you're going to be bored by it. If you're a kid, you're going to be petrified and have nightmares. I don't know who this is meant for.
This is going to be a cult film that will have its, teenage, young teen or
Okay.
20 something uh, folks who are going to embrace the weirdness of it.
Okay.
I mean, years from now, we'll keep hearing about this. It's funny, you just talked about it and said there's not much going on. This should have been a 20-minute film.
Right?
It should have been a short film, and it
Yeah.
and it would have been more effective, I think. And
I
it just
I
really
would
jolted us.
I would have taken the storylines down a little differently. We learn about Sigourney Weaver's character and how Mads Mikkelson's character and she have had their lives intertwined. I'm just going to put it at that in case you do go see it. I don't want to blow that. And I would have taken it down that road a little bit more. And it was just, my comparison was this is like watching a Tim Burton meets Quentin Tarantino
Which is
movie.
exactly right. Yep.
So if you think that's a good mashup, go see it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, save your money.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So what are we doing? Oh, next week, God help us. Well, I don't know. Maybe yeah, next week maybe we'll do the Christmas movies because you
Okay.
and I are going to be traveling and doing stuff because next week the big one's going to be Avatar, and that's it. And I'm going to be seeing that. You're not. Uh,
Thank you, Chuck.
so maybe we'll go ahead of the curve and do the Christmas movies, which would include Marty Supreme,
Okay.
Song Sung Blue,
Oh, yeah.
uh, Goodbye June.
Perfect.
Uh, and yeah, so we'll cover those and get ahead of the curve here and get everyone prepared for the holidays next week.
That sounds like a great plan. And I have one more thing to say. There's a movie on Amazon Prime, Amazon Prime called Merv, starring Zoe Deschanel and Charlie Cox, and our very own Chuck Kaplinski had an interview with both of them, and that is on our YouTube channel, realtalkwithchuckandpam.com. That's REEL Talk with chuckandpam.com. Check it out. It's a lovely interview. I so enjoyed listening and watching that. You asked a question that surprised them both, and they both had very different answers for us. So I love that. Well done.
Yeah, it's always good when we can sneak one in they haven't answered 100 times. So
Right.
yeah, that was a good one. So, and then a big interview we'll talk about next week as well.
Sounds good. Perfect. Thank you for listening. Real Talk with chuckandpam.com.